Good evening. Ira Epstein with your SPDR ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Wednesday, the 28th of May, 2025. What an earnings day. Abercrombie, did you see that? Over 20% higher. We just saw earnings come out from Salesforce. They were up about $3 in the pre-market. I was just looking at them, and about $5 higher in Nvidia. So we'll see the story there. Kramer today did an interview at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central Time with both the CEOs of the companies, getting their opinion as to where they're going and the issues they're facing and what issues they're not facing in the go-ahead. So we will see where this all takes them. But so far, pretty good, and we get a lot more retail earnings in the morning. So hold on. But these retailers, especially the ones that are figuring this out, are doing rather well. The question is, are they eating the tariff margins, or is the 10%, and that's basically what you're dealing with right now in a lot of them, just not that much where it matters, and they're doing a little passing on, they're eating it. We're finding that out, but a lot of it is product. The most interesting part to me is the consumers out there buying. And you see that when you're looking at the weekly retail sales that I bring out to you each Wednesday morning when it comes out, and it just continues to run between, let's call it 5.5% to 6%, and that's a pretty darn good number. Speaking of events, tomorrow we're going to get the second look at the first quarter GDP at 7:30 in the morning. They're looking for that to come in at a negative 0.3. U.S. weekly jobless claims, that's coming out at 7:30. They're looking for them up 1,000 right now. Richmond President Barkin will be speaking at a network event tomorrow at 7:30. We will see what he has to say one way or the other. National Association of Realtors, the pending home sales come out at 9 in the morning. The EIA natural gas storage and the EIA regular oil stocks come out in a host of earnings. In addition, today we had the FOMC minutes come out. And there's a problem. The Fed is caught here. They see that inflation isn't falling to their target. They haven't seen the weakness in the labor market, and there's no rush to do anything off of that. And, traders keep looking, where is this going to happen? Well, we're already through the period. You could write off June. It's not going to happen in June. So when does it happen? Some traders are projecting 2 rate cuts this year. I'm seeing some saying none if the things stay this way. And if the president can get done any more trade deals, maybe the economy, this was a hiccup, you go, and the stock market goes again. It's interesting. You haven't gone for any new highs in the stock market, and don't tell anyone, but a long time now, right? We had that correction. You bottomed out after the correction on April 7th, and you've gone mostly to the upside. So let's take a look and see what the charts are looking like. You had a sea of red in all the stock indices. The futures tonight, and I can't tell you they'll be that way in the morning, each one, every single one of them are higher. The weakest on the rallies, the Russell, the strength is coming in because of Nvidia on the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ. When we step at the market, you're still dropping away in the bonds. Amazon, I still think this stock can fall a little bit. A lot of people are questioning valuations of Apple. I read stories back and forth as to why it's a great company and others as to why it's overvalued. I predict that what they need to have are more hardware that people want to buy. You know anyone that owns those glasses? Do you see anyone walking around with them? I don't think so. So what's the new phone they're going to give us? That's going to come in. Uranium. I love what this has done. Via the president, it broke away from the $25 range. You're here. Now the question is, on the next break, what do you do? I'm going to start following it a little more now on my probably end of the day reviews very shortly. In United Airlines, coming down. Now, the airlines are still wondering what kind of travel do they have. For those of you that fly Southwest, bye-bye to the free baggage in most cases. I think it's $35. You gave back a chunk in AMC. 55 cents is a lot. So that's a 10% drop just like that in the marketplace. Tesla finally slipping. Nvidia was down, but it's near the 140 level. I heard traders saying this is an easy sale tonight and tomorrow. Take some money off the table, come back in on the breaks. I don't know if that's the thing to do or not. I'm just telling you what I've been listening to at the end of the day reviews on CNBC. Uber, I'm expecting further declines. Same on Boeing. I think they'll both be buys shortly. And Rivian, I'm hoping an event happens where the market drops. I don't see this market getting much under those lows near the $10. And if it did, then you either are betting, should you let the company go under? It doesn't have to. It's got plenty to reverse from. But I still like what I'm seeing. Their product is good. I realize their PE stinks here. Absolutely stinks. So I can make an argument for it to pull back. The near-term trend is lower highs, lower lows. I expected the market to challenge the 18-day average off that. It did it not today, but yesterday. We'll see if it can do it again. You can see where now you're getting the Bollinger Band, the 200-day average, and the 100 all in this range. So to me, this is a zone where if you had near $13 and just said, I don't want to do anything. I just want to own this company and I'll look at it 6 months down the road. That could be something that you put away for kids or something. If it works, great. If it didn't, you lost, as I said, $13 a share if it went belly up. I don't think it's going belly up. You're not hearing many more of those startup companies going out of business, am I right? The ones that are there are surviving. And their business, they don't have to go back to a combustion engine the way GM and some others are. They're one thing. They're electric. When we look at the Rivian here, you can see where you're at, and you can see momentum down. So when that occurs, you often go to that 18-day average, but you did it already. So now the question is, can there be more? And I can't answer that. In Lilly, you still have the bearish embedded reading. When the red line closes over a 21, that's when I think price will get together right here. Broadcom still looks powerful to me. Their business model's right. They're attracting new customers. I don't see anything that I don't like from a fundamental point of view and from a chart point of view. It's still bullish until that red line closes under 79. Next target, 248.5, 249 level. In Google, the market's up at a lot of resistance. The 200-day average, right here in gray, the 100, and the Bollinger Band. And you have a market that isn't embedded. Well, both numbers, as you can see tonight, are not over 80. So it's not embedded. I'll wait on it, let it do something else. It's just an overbought market. Netflix, what can I say? This is the granddaddy of when you get this streaming, this is what you want to own. They're just the player. It's hard to beat with what their products are and how many there are. Anyone that can't find something to watch on Netflix has a real problem. And in foreign languages, there's so many of them. So there's a lot to like in this company, and they make money, and they have pricing power. Still looking very, very good from a technical point of view. Robinhood, this type of volatility is great for these companies. I mean, they make money on the trade. Remember, a lot of these companies, I don't know what Robinhood does, Schwab, others, Fidelity, they sell the ticket. And you get, some argue better, Phil, some argue worse. I'm of the opinion you probably get just fine, all right, for the teenies that they take to get you a fast execution. But they're attracting new business from crypto and everything else. Until the red line's under 79, I don't see much of a correction. I am bearish, as you know, on energies. Lower highs, lower lows on Exxon. In stocks, all right, you've just lost your embedded reading. You went down to your objective. It's got to make a decision. What is it? Right here, we're not getting a story. The swing line's down, the bias is up, and you're getting a bullish crossover where the 18-day average just got over the 100. That's normally a bullish event in the market. So we'll see what it does. I hate the fact that it's still overbought. When I see a reading over 72, I've taught myself to tell my clients, no, you don't buy overbought markets, and when it's one of the numbers is under 30, you don't sell oversold markets. It has done me okay. In XLF, you can see the battlegrounds, the 18-day average. You're void of a trend. You have a higher high, lower low. The bias is up. The market is definitely fighting to try to stay over the 18-day average. Momentum fell already, came down. Market came into all the support. I don't see a trend to trade. XLI, same problem. You just lost the bullish embedded reading. Normally, when that occurs, prices go to the 18-day average. You can't argue it didn't make a run for it. Didn't quite hit it, but it made its run for it. In another part of the energy sector, a big decline today. Market went right to the line in the sand, fell. Be careful, it's already oversold. Unless it just is going to fall out of bed here, this could be a whipsaw trade. I'm still bearish until today's high is taken out. In gold, so the gold market in early trade tonight in the futures was down. I can't give you the reason why, but it was down about $10. If this market gets under 302.74 and doesn't come back up over today's high, that could set up a move back to the 292 level. So you're right at a point, an inflection point, where I think tomorrow is going to be very important in the gold trade. In the silver trade, I don't see the same thing. Even if silver takes out the last low, supports at 29.78 and momentum gradually turning down. I love the copper miners because eventually these tariffs end. The world does away with this. The 10% U.S. tariff will stay, but it's not enough to stop everything. And the threat of all these tariffs will bring back the market. Is that the last quarter of this year? Is it something earlier than that? I can't begin to tell you, but I do think it'll be that way in 2026. That's what I'm looking for. The other thing is, I think inflation's not going away. If you read the Fed minutes today, they are really worried about the inflation story. I can't blame them because you're not seeing their target numbers met. The tariffs, should they have brought prices down or up? There's huge arguments in the academic circles as to whether or not tariffs are inflationary or not. I've read the stories on both of them, and they both present, both sides, interesting parts to it. BND, well, you can see how the market is fighting right here at the 18-day average. Which way do you think interest rates are going? That's basically what you're looking at there. As for the dollar, would not surprise me to get back to the 18-day average. And in the euro, I wouldn't be surprised if you got back to the 18-day average either. So I could see both those markets slipping back, and that's the way that I think you approach them to see what's going on. Bitcoin today lost its bullish embedded reading. So I'm watching that market, IBIT. It lost its bullish embedded reading too. I want to remind you that these are the kind of markets back and forth that pivot points come into play. And if you don't know what they are, they look like that on your chart. If you have good charting software, you have the pivot point study. Whether you know how to use it or not, that I don't know. I created a 3-part video series with my take on how you use it. You don't have to agree with me on how I think it should be used, but it's there. And I teach you how to use momentum with it, not just the numbers raw. To get it, it's free, and I'd like to show you how I teach so you take the other courses that are much more advanced. IraEpstein.com. Go to the free offers, it's in there for you. There'll also be icons up here that you can give a click to. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great day. I'll catch up with you in